Hey folks, welcome back. Just kind of going through all of these Trump picks that he's chosen so far for his cabinet. Great Forbes article this morning talking about Trump's cabinet here for his picks and finalists for the White House roles: Marco Rubio, Stephen Miller, and more. President-elect Donald Trump has made a flurry of appointments to fill top spots in his administration the day since he won the election, tapping some of his staunchest defenders and loyalists for the roles as others jockeying for the remaining cabinet positions. I certainly hope they're loyal. The last administration proved that that wasn't always the case. Scrolling down, it was confirmed overnight that Senator Marco Rubio has accepted the role as his Secretary of State, of course, pending Senate approval, which is a foregone conclusion. Rubio is a decent choice. He's a decent choice. He's clearly more hawkish than would be my liking, but I think that also can serve it as an advantage. People will see you as somebody who's serious about going to the next level if that were to be the case. They haven't always gotten along, but they seem to have a decent relationship. And if he's loyal and he follows through with the orders of the president, fantastic choice. Mike Walz, representative from Florida, has accepted the position of National Security Advisor. Somebody who's very hawkish on China, as am I. He's also urged NATO members to pay more towards their defense, and he's urged a negotiated settlement between Russia and Ukraine. We all want a negotiated settlement between Russia and Ukraine. The last thing we want is having nuclear powers starting to go at each other. This doesn't end well for anyone, subject of a future video. Lee Zeldin will be his Environmental Protection Agency administrator. Not as familiar with Lee Zeldin, but again, if you follow the instructions of the president and you remain loyal to him, that should be fine. And in all honesty, you should probably actually be more preparing that agency for elimination. There's a couple of them on here that kind of feel that way. Stephen Miller to be Deputy Chief of Staff for Policy. He's one of the most hawkish on immigration reform, which is exactly what the president ran on, the people voted for as one of their top issues. We need to get the border under control. Stephen Miller is definitely a good step towards that. Border Czar Tom Homan. The video has gone viral. Everyone has seen it, of him with the reporter asking him, how do we prevent families from being broken up? That's easy. We deport them together. That's the kind of border czar you want. At the very least, it sends the message to everyone else that we're serious. And that message has to go out. UN Ambassador Elise Stefanik. This one's a little iffy to me. She has a lot of loyalty to other smaller countries with beachfronts in the eastern Mediterranean. I always question that. Susie Wells, Chief of Staff. Susie Wells ran an incredible campaign for the president. She kept him on point, on focus. She kept it. Can you name a better run campaign in the last 20 years? It was outstanding. Homeland Secretary Kristi Noem. I have issues with Kristi Noem. I believe Kristi Noem is a wolf in sheep's clothing. I don't believe she is who she says she is. She has used legal recourse to undo legal votes of the citizens of South Dakota. I'll leave it for the rest of you to kind of do some research into that. I'll probably expand on it further in another video, but the fact is that she is not somebody I trust. I keep an eye on her. Attorney General, possibly Mike Lee? That is okay with me. Mike Lee is okay with me. Mike Lee is one of the staunchest constitutionalists you'll ever find in this country. Somebody who knows the law inside and out, who has the temperament to deal with these people. If Mike Lee is your choice, my personal choice was Ron DeSantis because of his ability to just root out woke statutorily. Mike Lee, I'll sleep just fine at night. Bill Hagerty could be a Treasury Secretary, ambassador to Japan under Trump. Speculated to be on the short list along with Cantor Fitzgerald CEO Howard Lutnick, former Trade U.S. Representative Robert Litzner, Scott Bessent, and billionaire John Paulson. I would throw in there Jamie Dimon. Jamie Dimon has expressed his interest in something like that and working with the new administration. He supports Trump's policies, definitely over Kamala's policies. I think that's something to look at. You want to put an olive branch out to Wall Street. You don't want them to rule you, but you definitely want an olive branch. Defense Secretary Mike Rogers, that's a good possibility. He's always been great at the Armed Forces Committee. I think that would also be a great role for Tulsi Gabbard. It'd be a great role for Tulsi Gabbard. Whoa! There with the microphone, folks. Still getting used to this. And I got a cat losing her mind. And we're back. Energy Secretary Doug Bowman, former North Dakota governor and former presidential candidate. I think that'd be outstanding. There's very few states in the union that are more energy dependent than North Dakota. Somebody familiar with working with energy companies, making them work well with the government. North Dakota is an oil state, that's for sure. And it was confirmed that Kash Patel has accepted the role as CIA director. Now, as we know, Kash Patel was almost in the CIA before the end of the first term. He's loyal to the president. And I think when you're talking about that position, you want loyalty over everything. It's proven in the past that you need that because he hasn't had that. Again, going back to the Syrian question, when he asked for the troops to be removed, they lied to him. The CIA was part of that. Education Secretary, possibly Vivek Ramaswamy. Now, the Department of Education is already slated to be eliminated under the president. At least that's what he said. If that's the case, then it's my hope that Vivek is literally just preparing the department for that role and that there's a bigger role for Vivek in the administration. Vivek is a superstar. A superstar. And Vivek Ramaswamy should be one of the faces of the new administration going forward. Absolutely one of the faces going forward. And finally, Health and Human Services, or any role involving the things he desires, Robert F. Kennedy. I think it goes without saying that the food in this country is absolutely chock full of the worst things in the world. Can't even sell it in other countries. Vaccines are questionable at times and have been for a long time. I think that Robert F. Kennedy is a wonderful, wonderful person to have in these roles. Elon Musk, creating the DOGE, Department of Governmental Efficiency. That's something that I think him and Vivek Ramaswamy would also be good at. Those two together, I mean, these are two entrepreneurs. These people know how to make a company / a country streamlined and ready to go. Elon and Vivek as a team, boy, I don't know if that's even stoppable. It doesn't get much better than that. It really doesn't. Pardon me. Excuse me. So, in the end, that's the vast majority of everyone that we've got going into the administration as of this video. Be plenty more, and we'll comment on those as they occur, but so far, I have to say, it's an A. I'm not 100% on our UN choice with Elise Stefanik. Loyalty to the president is the most important thing to me, and I do legitimately question that there, but he doesn't, and I trust his judgment this time. We'll see what comes of it. Until then, we'll catch you on the next one, and stay sour.